Just mic'd up with Mikie Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J. Mitch. We got Jackie Boy.
He tried to jump up and he might have knocked it in.
Good time. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys would come in, say,
oh, God.
So me and Joe on the ground. I got Joe in a headlock. And he's sitting there. Helmet. He's punching me in the stomach, like steady punching me.
Here, and there's everyone sitting around. Who here thinks Ovchinko can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's been with the team
6 minutes.
for 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Ovchinko can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. I fucking saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
Be on the Spirit plane had some issues. I think she was sleep farting.
You heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled it.
Whoa. What was that?
Time to start the show.
Why would I have that? You had the circus or something.
6'3", I'm late. Like, I don't even know what I'd be doing.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad tell you about that?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? And it's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here.
Yeah,
like they're
all fatter than him.
Players, look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
I mean, you're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now. Hello. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Today is Friday, April 21st. Good afternoon.
You think it's the 20th?
No, it's not. It was the 20th yesterday. I hope you had a great day on 420, Lloyd. Did you have a great day? My allergies are absolutely murdering me right now, and Lloyd is making fun of me. So if I sound a little nasally today, you know why? These allergies. It's
The hell of a game.
April, is it April showers turn to May flowers, right?
Bring.
Is that bring May flowers? That's it. Well, we're going through the April showers, and I think it's bringing out a lot of allergies in my life. But we got a great show for everybody today. Today is Friday. LSU baseball starts a series on the road against the defending national champions, Ole Miss Rebels. The game was supposed to start at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Tonight, it is moved to 8:30 p.m. Central Time tonight, because of some weather that is supposed to go through the area. The game is going to be played. They'll play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, back to the regular series, the regular schedule, which I am happy about. I'm glad it's 8:30. Listen, Kobe, my dog, Kobe had a little surgery today. Nothing good. Nothing bad. He's all good. He had a little cyst that they had to remove. It happens on doodles frequently, so they got it removed, and he's a little drugged up right now. And so Mom and Dad are going to have to hang out with Kobe tonight. And so the 8:30 game I'm okay with because I got nothing planned.
What, did he tear his Achilles?
But no, don't put that on my dog.
No,
Jeez,
Kobe.
Lloyd. Jeez, dude. No. You're dark. Jeez.
I don't have a camera today, so I can say whatever I want.
You don't. You're going to hear Lloyd, but you're not going to see Lloyd. It's like a tease. Like, you know he's there, but you can't see him because Lloyd's camera broke somehow. I don't know.
I'll be present.
Yeah.
like omniscient. It's like God calling
Technology, I don't know what's the deal is with the
Me
technology,
either.
but it broke. It's okay. We're still here. We're still going to make it through. But anyway, so 8:30 p.m., I'm okay with it. I got nothing planned. We're going to be watching the game. It's a little rainy. It looks like the rain has stopped. The sun's trying to poke out. But let's get down to the Heineken headlines. There's not very many. It's Friday. NBA basketball is still going on. The playoffs have been great. There's been a lot of storylines. I know that we're not here talking a ton of basketball. I love watching playoff basketball, so this is in the sports world, so we're going to say it in the Heineken headlines. LSU football spring game is tomorrow. Doors open at noon for everybody. The game, I guess players enter the field. I guess their warm-up start around 1. If you want to go out there and hang out, watch the game, get your little football fix, go for it. It's the spring game. Lloyd's going to be out there. Go find him. He'll maybe have a Heineken soda. Maybe just sneak one into the game and just drink it during the game.
I need to start doing that for baseball games.
That's it.
Pocket
They don't really check us too much. When
It's
you walk
the
in.
old man, checking you to go to the
Yeah,
concert.
yeah. Right. But
Unless you
that's
have a media pass and you just,
unless you have me, you just walk through. What you got?
or you can go with Maureen, or you can go with Skip's daughter.
There you go. That's all you.
Yeah.
Those are your tickets. But yeah, so spring game. We obviously have the preview of the LSU Ole Miss series and MLB news. Oakland A's are now going to be the Las Vegas whatever. Maybe they're going to stay being the Athletics. Las Vegas Athletics, I don't know. They're moving out of Oakland. Oakland, see ya. All your professional sports teams, gone. All out in Las Vegas. I would not be surprised if NBA followed suit with LeBron James being an owner of that team, going to Las Vegas. Now Las Vegas will have... Las Vegas had no teams, 4 years ago?
And then gambling became
Now
a
they
legal
got
sport.
now they got hockey. Now they're about to get baseball. They have football, and basketball is probably right there coming. So I think it's great. I think it's awesome. Las Vegas is a great place to have entertainment, and that is
And if you're a professional athlete, just watch your gambling.
That's a dangerous place to be.
watch
for
your
days.
gambling because that's a great thing. Into our next line item on the Heineken headlines is the Detroit Lions. The guys on the team like to dabble in the gambling world because they all got suspended. Jameson Williams got suspended for 6 games. A couple other Quintez, Cephas got suspended indefinitely, right? And not just amount
Released
of
and suspended.
Released.
Yeah.
Released
I
and
think it was 2
suspended
guys that got released and
indefinitely.
suspended indefinitely.
So
Lions, L-I-E-N-S.
who?
The Lions, L-I-E-N-S.
Ah. Did they lie?
I don't know. I
They
doubt
obviously
they
didn't do a
obviously
good
weren't
job.
telling the truth.
They obviously didn't do a good job of lying because they
Yeah.
got caught.
Or Lions and, because they're betting on lines.
Oh, there you go. I see what you did there.
Cooking over here.
But 5, I think it was 5 players, I think, in the NFL got suspended. 2 of them been suspended indefinitely. The other 3, for certain amount of games, however much. This is going to happen, I guess, more often. They weren't all gambling on football. I'd imagine the guys that got suspended indefinitely were gambling on football. The other guys probably gambling on other sports, but the rule is you cannot gamble within the facility. So maybe that's what happened. I don't know. But it's unfortunate. Unfortunate for Jameson Williams because he only got to play 1 game this past year, and then now he's not going to be able to start the season playing. But part of it, it's not really football season. It's about to be the draft is next Thursday. So next week we'll have some draft conversation. But today, on Friday, the reason why people watch our show on Friday is to talk baseball. So let's talk baseball. LSU goes on the road to Ole Miss. They left on Wednesday night. They've been out there for a little bit. They've had 2 nights there already. I believe, they left on Wednesday night. So they got there Wednesday night. They had all day Thursday. They practiced. I like that Jay does that. I would have loved that if I was in school because one less day of class on the road, extra day on the road. I used to love going on the road. Like, it was a lot of fun. You can always make,
2 nights.
You have an extra night to go see
You
the
have 2
sights.
nights before you play your first game.
Which means you got a night to see
you don't
the
get
sights,
that anywhere in baseball.
the
Honestly.
sights and sounds and smells of the city that you're in.
No, like you realize you don't get that anywhere in baseball.
No.
You don't even get to do that in pro ball.
Unless you have an off day.
Off day in the big leagues, pretty much only.
Yeah, because you fly there a night
Pretty
before.
only. That's pretty much the only spot.
Yeah.
I think maybe Texas League too, because they had like those long, like really long travel days.
Yeah.
So I think they did do that too, where they would leave
The best.
the
so
day, like the night of the something like that. I
The
don't
best is when you would get a road game. You're on the road and you have a game, and you leave after the game to go to the other road trip. So you get there. Let's say you get there on Wednesday night after your game. Thursday you're off. So you got Wednesday night. You sleep in. do whatever. Thursday, you got the whole day, do whatever, and then Friday, you got the game. That's ideal, which is what LSU is going through now. I wish I was able to do that when we were in college because they're in Oxford. I imagine that there's some watering holes in Oxford that was probably.
I'm gonna imagine they towed their.
They probably went study at the library.
They
maybe.
towed their way to that to
Yeah.
the curfew, whatever the curfew was.
Yeah, I think the library was open late there, so.
Yeah. They
probably went over there and got some studying
studying
done. Yeah, the
pretty
study
late.
hall was probably there at the
Best
library.
one of the
library
year.
too.
Huh?
Best one of the year.
The best library in the
United
country.
States.
It's a pretty big library over there.
Yeah. A lot of good books to look at too.
Well populated.
Yes. Yeah.
People come for.
They do a
books.
good job of recycling high quality educational
good paperback.
resources there.
Good paperback.
Oh,
Yes.
what a hardcover.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Well.
Is
I'm
that
just,
like
I'm just joking.
like a condom
I know what you're doing.
or fruit roll up?
Huh?
What?
You haven't seen that on TikTok?
What? No,
What?
I don't watch
What?
TikTok.
Been
I
sent
need to get on TikTok. We need to get on TikTok more. I know.
That's where the kids are.
I know.
The trends.
I know. All right. So they are in Ole Miss. They're in Oxford right now. It's a big weekend for Oxford. I have some friends that actually went to Ole Miss that are going to watch the game, and they're going to Morgan Wallen. Hopefully everybody's okay outside.
Government Street ringtone.
Morgan Wallen's playing in Oxford on Saturday night, so Saturday should be a pretty fun atmosphere for the boys. Let's get to it though. Ole Miss can swing the shit out of it. Like they score runs, they drive balls in the gap, they hit homers, they do a lot of things, especially the top part of the lineup. What they haven't done really well this year is pitch. Talked a little bit about this on Wednesday. Their rotation has not been very good, and their bullpen they haven't had a lot of. Their pitching staff as a whole hasn't been great. They get their best pitcher back, 2022 freshman All-American. Elliott is his last name. Hunter Elliott is his name, full name. He is back. He is pitching on Saturday. He got hurt after the opening day start he had this year and hasn't pitched again. He is back, healthy, pitching in this weekend. So hope that may give them kind of a boost in the pitching in the rotation on the pitching staff. We will see. Ole Miss is the best defending team in the SEC, 7th in the country. So they don't make a lot of errors. They've got a lot of talented players. Their pitching has been the biggest issue. But again, they are the reigning national champions. So it's not going to be just a walk in the park. I believe LSU is starting slowly to get healthy. We don't know who's going to play and who's not going to play. I would imagine that some of these guys that have been out for a little bit, Ackenhausen, maybe Dugas, all these guys, you would hope that they're starting to get better. And I would imagine that you're probably going to see them this weekend, which is huge for the team. What are y'all's opinion on this weekend? Lloyd, what do you feel like? I usually go to Jay first, but I'm going to go to you first this time with no camera.
No camera, just me thinking.
But you can put me and Jay on the 2 box so they
So
can
you
look
can
at
get
everybody's reaction
Yeah.
to you.
We talked about it a little bit this morning.
Did y'all?
On
We talked baseball this morning?
Yeah, you know, they dabble. And a lot of talk about the S word and how it said it's time for LSU to start stacking up wins in the SEC. I don't think that's totally necessary. Because if you would have told you guys, players on the team, former players, people that know ball, if they're like, you take 2 of 3 from every SEC series before the season, would you sign up for that?
Yeah, well, can I tell you why I was signing up for that?
Absolutely.
Because we did sign up for that. We did that in 2009. We swept one series that year, and so we won 9 out of 10 series. We lost a series to Tennessee, who was not very good then. We lost 2 to 3, and we swept Auburn. So that would equal out to 2 out of 3 every weekend. That was it. We went 20-10. We were co-champions of the SEC, and then won the tournament. Went on to win the whole thing. So yeah, I'm with you. Like, sweeps are fun. It's nice to be able to do it to get that extra win, but it's not necessary. As long as you keep winning series, you are going to be just where now. I imagine that there is going to be some sweeps at some point over these next. Whoa, hiccup. That was nice.
This man is struggling.
I know. Over the last 5 weeks, the SEC. And
Played for Kentucky.
I'd imagine that over these next 5 weekends, you're going to have a couple weekends where they may get some sweeps, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary. So continue with your
No,
thoughts.
I mean, I understand the reason why there hasn't been sweeps. LSU's still trying to piece together the back end of the rotation. They released that Christian Little's getting the start on the third day, if there is a third day, weather pending, obviously. That continues to be a theme for LSU baseball. But
April showers, bring
May
May flowers.
Hopefully a trip to Omaha in July? June. Unless the weather pushes it back.
Can't push it that far back.
I don't think it's going to push it back a month, but
I hope not. We've gambled on LSU going to Omaha for my buddy's bachelor party, so we already booked the Airbnb.
Nice.
So if they're not there, I guess.
Oh, y'all are going to Omaha.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
Confirmed. It was too much of a hassle to try to plan around it, and I was like, boys, they're good. Let's just go ahead and do it. Let's make the call.
Good for you.
And if they don't go, we'll go to the zoo.
The zoo's great.
But
Zoo is great.
Don't knock the zoo. The zoo's. If I go to Omaha,
you're still going to the zoo?
I'm going to the zoo. I love the zoo.
The zoo's great.
The zoo is great.
There's a very good zoo there.
Very good zoo. Especially
Second
when
best
you're there
in
with
the
all your
country.
friends, and then one of your good friends gets punched in the face by
A
a female.
female. But
It's great.
Very
for,
true.
for my next
I was with
point,
that guy last night,
Yeah.
actually.
still wearing it.
He's still getting punched in the face.
But I'm not leaving.
I'm not leaving. Go ahead.
But I do feel like if you get Ackenhausen back, which it feels like this hamstring has taken a lot longer than normal hamstrings, but I understand you have time to rest him. So get him 100% healthy. You have Javin Coleman coming back. I don't know how much impact he'll make, but you can get
He's
an
going to make some impact.
No, I'm talking about this weekend. I feel like you can still get an inning out of him at least. They're going to keep him on a very short leash just because you have to. You don't want to see that thing
Well,
happen
he
twice.
pitched, what, Tuesday?
Yeah.
So Wednesday off, Thursday off. I'd imagine he's available today.
I'm talking Sunday.
To start?
No, just to pitch. Because Sunday's been the
I think
bugaboo.
that if he pitches Friday, he's available Sunday. If he doesn't pitch Friday, he's not available Sunday. They're not going to go back to back with him.
Yeah, I
Like
think
if he
he'll-
pitches on Saturday, he's not pitching Sunday.
Oh no, I agree. I think they'll save him for Sunday because that's been kind of the recipe that Jay's gone with. It's a lot of kind of what they did last year where you piece it together at the back end. If Christian Little can give you more than 4, I think that would be an excellent recipe. But in the same token, I don't expect to sweep any series, especially with the Ole Miss team. We talked about this on Wednesday where don't poke the bear. It's a sleeping giant. Whenever they feel like they can wake up, they feel like they're in every series. You talked about it. They can mash. They have their Friday night guy back. Like, it's not a walk in the park. And you have Bianco over there who understands LSU culture and what it means for LSU.
Oh,
to
it's
stack these
LSU Ole
wins.
Miss, right?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter how good or how bad you are. Like, they want to beat LSU. Like, that's just that's the way it goes.
I think of the sweep conversation as this too. Like, would it be fun to have sweeps?
Sweeps are fun.
Yeah, like 100%. But now I think about it, and I'm like, all right, well, if you told me that we were going to go out there and win every single series in the SEC, so we take 2 out of 3 from everyone in the SEC, all right, where is that probably going to put you nationally? I'd say top 5. I'd say you'd be hard pressed to not be in the top 5, right? Let's just say that doesn't win you the conference. Okay, well, 20 wins at least, obviously.
Or 19-10 now because
Yeah, exactly. From now, 19-10. If it were to happen, we're going to be top 5, which means we're going to be a national seed. I don't know what else you would actually be wanting
Right.
for. Like, what could you say the team didn't display and can't
Right.
do if that's what you got from them?
And now look, whenever you're the best team or whenever you're been number 1 the whole year, you haven't really faltered much. People are gonna nitpick about what you are and what you aren't, right? How good, like what you do well, what you don't do well, and they're gonna focus on the things that you don't do well because they're gonna try to like, okay, why isn't this team gonna make it to Omaha? Why isn't this team gonna win the World Series? Or why isn't this team gonna be able to do something or accomplish a goal that they had set out to accomplish? And part of those things are, okay, well, the pitching staff, they only have 1 starter. If you lose the start against Skeens, then you're in trouble. Well, I think that's every ace in the country. If you don't lose, your ace is your ace. If you lose that first game, you're in a worse spot than you would have been had you won that game, right? The second thing is who's going to step up and be that number 2 guy. You need a number 2 guy to step up and be that guy that can go 5, 6, 7 innings every outing and give you an opportunity to win, right? The third starter needs to be somebody who's going to be able to compete and be able to keep it close. You don't have to go out and throw 6 shutty, but give up 4 or 5 runs, and you got to hope the team mashes, right? So those are things that people are picking on, and the bullpen, right? They talk about the back end of the bullpen, and I may be biased, I may be a homer, I may be whatever you want to call me. I don't believe that the bullpen is as much of an issue as people think that it is. Now, I get it. The names that the guys that you thought you were going to rely on in the bullpen are hurt, and you're not relying on them. But the guys that you have are good, and they're good enough to get the job done, and there's enough of them. I rattled off 8 guys on Wednesday that out of the bullpen that you're going to be able to count on. That's a lot of guys out of the bullpen. That's 4 righties and 4 lefties. So you have guys out of the pen that you can rely on that have proven that they can get the job done. Now, how consistent are they going to be? Who knows? I would like for them to be, more consistent and be more shut down, but we'll see how they go the last 5 years. But today, the team that you see right now is not going to be the same team that you see at the end of the year as far as how they're playing. I don't think LSU's hit their stride yet, to be honest with you. I don't believe that they've been hitting on all cylinders. Do you agree?
Yeah, I look at it this way. I get it. The questions are what they've been because you've seen somewhat of a revolving door around the bullpen, right? Trying to figure out roles, trying to figure out who's going to stick instead and step up and be able to kind of take claim to spots. But if I told you right now, with Griffin being back there, with Gavin being back there, if I told you that this is what you were going to get at the beginning of the year, with Coop being out of the pen, with Ackenhausen being there, and I literally told you that these were the guys, from what you've seen from them so far, I don't think you'd be like, oh man, I don't know if they'll be good enough, right? So, and the reason why I'm saying that is because you've seen a Thatcher Hurd struggle a little bit this year. You've seen Christian Little have his struggles a little bit this year, and that all came. Thatcher obviously is a starter, but Christian's struggles for the most part have come in the back end of the bullpen, right? Those struggles have come in those times. So now you're thinking of it as I don't know how good they are back there, but you're not putting the true picture together of what you're getting right now, right? The guys that have gone out there the last 2 weeks that have kind of been thrusted into those spots, they've performed well back there. And I get it. We sitting here saying, oh, how deep are they? We don't know what else they got back there. Well, like you said, we rattled off 8 names that I'm pretty sure if you knew that that's what you were going to have, you'd be like, I could live with that. I'm fine with that.
Right.
So
that's not how you anticipated having.
Exactly.
But
so I get it. The role still. I guess the concern out of most people's mouth right now is that those spots haven't been really defined yet. But they have 5 weekends left in conference still to go.
Right. 15 games.
15 games in conference left to go. You got about 20 games still left on the schedule, on the regular season schedule right now. They don't need to be defined right now.
No doubt.
They don't need to be hitting their stride right now. They don't need to be at their best on the mound right now. They need to be getting better. And I think that's what they're doing right now.
No doubt.
My only cause for concern with that is how well they played so early on, where they were just steamrolling people.
Yeah, but
and you haven't. Yeah, I know, but it's just you saw it a little bit with Tennessee. We talked about this a little bit off air. You saw it with Tennessee last year, where it's good Lord, they seem unbeatable, and then you don't ever really get tested. LSU has battled through 10 running everybody in the out of conference, start 10 running teams in conference, and then you see them they lose their first midweek. They struggle against Kentucky in 2 out of 3, where they're lucky to win that third game. And you just wonder if they're kind of running into a little bit of I don't want to say a wall, but a lull where you're like...
Yeah, but I'm glad you said that because, beginning of the season, they were steamrolling people, right? Beginning of the SEC, they're playing really well. Now they've gone through some tough games. They're finding ways to win. They may not be playing the same type of baseball they were playing early on. They may not be hitting on all cylinders right now, but they're winning games. And they're figuring out a way. They shouldn't have won 2 out of 3 against Kentucky. They didn't play very well that second game, but they did, right? They got the job done. They won the game. They had close games against Tennessee. They had close games against
South
Carolina. You had games where you're like, okay, all right, you're getting tested a little bit, and you're not playing your best baseball, but you're still winning, and I think that's important, especially moving forward. I think that they're only going to play better, right? They're not going to get worse. They're going to play better. They're going to continue to improve and play better and figure out, okay, let's get past this little bit of lull in the season because now you are past the halfway mark. You are right in the middle of SEC play. It's like, all right, it does kind of get a little monotonous after after this weekend and next weekend. You got 3 left. All of a sudden, you start seeing, okay, now it's about to start being postseason time. Let's get locked in before the regular season ends. So I think they're in a good spot.
I also see it too as like you're not looking at a ton of guys out there running out there with 6 and 7 and 8 ERAs as like supposedly like the guys in the bullpen, right? So for me, when I think about that, is like, well, you'll have the best offense in the nation, and then we're not running the guys out there who are literally getting shelled every time they get on the mound. So it sounds like they're giving you a fighting chance to win the game. Mm-hmm. I'm not exactly sure what else you could be asking for at this point, and that's kind of how I see it. And the biggest point for me, honestly, to date is like we talked about earlier, they're managing their way through injuries right now and still finding ways to win and win series and keep pushing forward. I think when this team gets healthy, you'll see that bullpen strengthen a little bit. I think you'll see some guys start to really step up and get back to form, I guess, on Saturday and the starter on Sunday. And I think you're going to find a team really hitting their stride towards the actual back end of the season.
No doubt. I completely agree. All right, let's get to the preview of tonight's game. All right, I mean, we're going to preview the whole weekend, but tonight's game is game 1. You got Xavier Rivas, left-handed pitcher for Ole Miss, going up against Paul Skeens. Numbers are a little they're not very similar to each other. Xavier Rivas is 5-2 with a 5.4 ERA, 51 strikeouts, 24 walks. Paul Skeens, on the other side of it, is 6-1 with a 1.69 ERA, 104 strikeouts, and 9 walks. Right, which 9 walks is pretty outrageous. I obviously like this matchup for LSU. I think that, I think Paul Skeens has gone through his last couple starts, not pitched bad. I'm not saying he pitched bad, but he gave up some runs against Kentucky. He, unfortunately, got rained out against South Carolina. I think you see Paul Skeens come out today and put on a show, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think he goes out there and he puts the team on his back and he's like, all right, I'm going 7 innings. I'm striking out 14, and I'm not giving up any runs.
His last 2 starts, this as weird as this may sound, starting South Carolina, obviously was cut short by the weather, and then the start against Kentucky at home. To me, I don't know about anyone else. I'm just speaking in my mind. It almost looked like he was in cruise control. Like he didn't feel really challenged. Like he wasn't really into it. And I think this may bring out another situation where he's going to feel kind of heightened with what he does. And I think you might get a better version of what you saw the last 2 weeks. And that's not good news for Ole Miss.
Not good news. I think we're going to do our predictions now of the game of him, or you want to wait till we do?
Of the series or of this game?
Of this game. Like,
now, wait. Just go through the thing and then we'll come back to it. Yeah.
Everybody talks about throughout the course of the year, left-handed pitchers, we don't hit left-handed. I don't believe that. I think that's kind of been.
That's kind of been quiet lately, though.
Yeah.
I haven't heard much about it.
I don't think that's the case. You're facing left-handed pitcher today, left-handed pitcher tomorrow, TBD on Sunday. They haven't announced their third starter. LSU's going, Paul Skeens, Ty Floyd, Christian Little. On the weekend, the same way they've gone the last 3 weekends, or at least it was scheduled.
Yeah.
Little didn't throw against South Carolina, but he did against Kentucky. So I like the pitching matchup for LSU. I think that the Saturday one is the one that scares me a little bit, and it's not because I don't everybody knows how on board I am with Ty Floyd, but the way he pitches and how he pitches, even if he's on with his fastball up in the zone. The stadium in Oxford is the ball flies a little bit there.
Yeah, it does.
And they have guys on this team that can hit homer. Alderman for them has 15 home runs. Like, they have guys on their team that can hit the ball at the ballpark. And so my worry is that if they, touch a couple balls that maybe shouldn't be homers but like carry out, like what's going to happen there, right? So Saturday to me is
I'll say 2 things. Because of the environment and how it is there and how their fans react to everything, right? it's going to be real important that Ty is able to get on the mound and pitch ahead and count, right?
Yep.
Because you don't want that one mistake fly ball to happen that turns into a homer with 2 runners on because one of them was walked and one of them got a hit in a 3-1 count, and next thing you know, it's a 3-run homer. You want those, if they're going to come, let them come as solo homers and stuff. So it's going to be really important for him to be able to kind of find his groove early.
Yeah.
Early and often, and get ahead of hitters and kind of go through the game that way.
His biggest thing is if he's around the strike zone early on with throwing strikes and attacking guys, I think that's when he's at his best.
Yeah.
When he's not and he's not finding the zone, he's got to work from behind. It's harder because they know that his fastball is his best pitch, so they're going to be a little bit more geared up for his fastball. But as far as on the flip side, Hunter Elliott's making his return to the mound. He is obviously their most talented pitcher. But it's his return. He hasn't pitched in a while.
That was the lefty with the long hair for him, right? Last year?
I think so.
I think it was.
I don't remember the. I don't remember
I think
what he
it
looked
is.
like. He's 1-0 with a 3.6 this year and with 9 strikeouts and 1 walk. He has 1 start.
Yeah.
So he struck out
Opening night, right?
Yeah. He's been what? Long hair.
Lefty.
Yeah. He's been gone. I've been out all year. So he's back on the mound. Obviously, that's a boost for Ole Miss, but it's also he's back on the mound. There's sort of maybe a little rust there. And I'm not really worried about our lineup. Like, I think our lineup will put together some at-bats and make him work and put him in a position where he's going to have to put some stress on himself because, they're making him throw pitches or they're getting hits or they're, putting pressure on that.
So I'll be honest with you. He's the one, he will, if I remember his stuff correctly, he is like the type that kind of does scare me with this lineup a little bit. Simply because, not because he's left-handed. I know that's what people are going to think, like, oh, he's left-handed. He's one of those guys. Their biggest struggles so far this year has been against the one lefty that was throwing 1,000,000 miles per hour, but we talked about why we thought that was, right? Like, it's very hard. One, he's throwing super hard. Two, he doesn't really have much command, so you're not exactly sure what you're kind of getting. It becomes tough at bats when you can, when I can throw you that kind of stuff and then also kind of like lose it around the zone a little bit, makes it kind of tough to be able to hit. So that guy is an outlier. I don't really think about it, but when I think about this kid right here, it brings me back to the thought of the guy that Arkansas threw on Friday night. Crafty lefty, pretty good fastball. I think it's probably in like the 92 to 94 range, if I remember correctly, but he can pitch.
Yeah.
Guys that can pitch do well, obviously, anywhere.
Right.
But, like, this is the type of line, this is the type of guy that kind of, all right, it's going to be tough because I know when you watch us play, for the most part, like, they're aggressive hitters. They're going to try to drive the baseball. This is the type of guys that give them trouble.
Yep. That kind of goes into the interesting Saturday matchup, right? Like, if there's a guy in their rotation that could maybe give a guy our lineup some issues, it's that guy. And if there's a pitcher in our rotation that his top end is great, like, he's fine.
Yeah.
I think, but the way the matchup and the way the field's set up and the way they swing it, like, I'm not saying he's going to struggle, but they could sneak a couple homers out that maybe shouldn't be home runs, and that's the danger of it. So Saturday is going to be interesting. If Skeens goes out and does what I think he's going to go do today, they go win Friday, they play Saturday. If they win Saturday, they have a legitimate chance to sweep on Sunday. Obviously, a chance, you say, oh, yeah, of course, you won the first 2. Of course you have a chance. Yeah, but we've done that earlier in the year. They haven't closed the game out. I think that if you win that Saturday game, I think the likelihood of sweeping is a lot higher than it would have been.
You know what's weird too? When it comes to like an actual 3-game series now, what scares me with this team, it literally just hit my mind, is that I think it's deep enough in the year to where people have enough of a sample size of it that when they see Skeens throw and they feel like he's on. So like if you get you get to the 5th inning and say it's 2-0 in a sense where most teams would be like, we're still in it. I think teams start punting a little bit for the next game, in the sense of not throwing their guys when you're like, all right, we got the starter out, and you don't get the guy next, you get kind of the mop-up-ish role guy because they save those guys for the next day. I think people are literally going to start doing that, thinking that, oh, Paul's on, like, you ain't going to win this one. No, so you might as well, instead of being like, hey, 2-0, we're still in this game, so let's go ahead and get this guy hot who's their next guy, which means he wouldn't be available for Saturday. Right. So then now those guys are available in a Saturday game where I think it's kind of starting to get to that point, like that will be the mindset. And that point that kind of scares me a little bit for the team because it makes it tough to get to sweeps if teams start approaching it that way.
No, for sure. 100%. Go ahead.
I'm just wondering now that they're throwing Elliott on Saturday, who is their presumed ace, freshman of the year last year, or freshman of the year whenever he was
Freshman
a
All-American,
freshman
2022.
All-American, yeah. How many innings do you think that they think he can go?
I think if they're starting him, they think he can go 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And so that proves your point, right? Where if they think he can go, they would throw him against Skeens.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, like if I was a head coach right now, and
We called
knowing
this, by the way.
Yeah, like knowing what Skeens is doing right now, and you see him. Say we get to the 5th, and I don't know. Say you got 1 run off him, but you're down 3-1, 4-1, and he's thrown. Say you get to the 6th, and he's thrown 5 1/3. He's got 75 pitches. He's got 9 strikeouts, and it's 4-1 right now. Are you really bringing in? Like, do you really in your mind say, "Let me bring out my top reliever that's going to keep this game close right here to make sure"? Are you going to be like, "Hey, bro, I know I got another guy going that's going to give me 6 tomorrow. We got a better chance then. Why don't we save him for tomorrow?"
Right. 100%.
I think teams are going to start doing that, and that's going to makes it tough to sweep teams if that's how you're going to approach it.
No doubt.
Because in a normal world, you're bringing out your guy next. Because you're thinking like, oh, dude, like we get 1 run on, we'll run away. Like we hit a swing away.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, exactly. So like in normal situations, right there, you're bringing your guy. I don't know that teams are going to approach it that way.
Right, and I think you're right. I think you're starting to see teams do that more and more when they play them. But that just makes LSU's job harder, which I'd rather. Like, it's not gonna be easy.
No.
Sweeps are never easy, and so if you're gonna go get it, you're gonna have to go earn it. Now you're gonna have to earn it a little bit more. This weekend, though, both teams this weekend have. Obviously, everybody knows how good LSU is talent-wise. Like the guys who I think are gonna be in the big leagues. Ole Miss has a few too, right? Gonzalez, their shortstop. She got named to he's a Golden Spikes Award midseason watch list, and he's what's the shortstop? The Wallace Award. What's the name of it?
Gonzalez is the shortstop, isn't he?
Yeah. What's the name of the award though that he got?
Bo Wallace Award.
Oh, yeah.
Bo Wallace. It's not
It's a
Bo.
joke.
It's something Wallace though. Brooks Wallace Award watch. So his best shortstop in the league. He got put on that list, and Jordan Thompson. So people want to talk. All they want. Jordan Thompson's defense sucks. He is not good at shortstop. How many errors did Jordan Thompson have this year at shortstop? Anyone want to guess?
I think
3. 4 errors.
I was about to say 6.
4 errors. He's hitting over 300, hitting clutch hits.
I'll take it.
Mid-season best shortstop of the year award on the watch list. So
Does that consider offense? I would imagine.
I think
It's like a gold glove.
Yeah, it considers everything as a shortstop. So you're going to see 2 of the top shortstops in college baseball. Jacob Gonzalez is projected top 10 pick in the draft from Ole Miss. You obviously have Dylan Cruz and Paul Skeens and all these other guys. So once again, in the SEC, you're going to have matchups of future major league guys everywhere on the field, which makes it more exciting. So I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, 8:30. I'm okay with that because I got nothing to do.
I kind of missed the Thursday series just
you
because
don't.
I was
No, I don't.
what?
Why?
I do miss a Thursday series.
I had nothing
because
to do last night.
it gives us something to talk about today. before
Yeah,
the game,
exactly.
you
That's
know?
really what it is. Content, baby. We're in the content game.
You just gave me 2 completely different reasons.
I don't know.
I know. I watched the game before the show. That's my job. I clock those hours.
Eddie Furness's son plays on Ole Miss.
Yeah, he does. Apparently, like, strikingly, like, looks a lot like
He's
him when you see him play.
6'4", 240.
Yeah.
Freshman.
Yeah.
Big dude.
That's a lot of body.
Now, he's not starting every day, but he's got a few homers. So if you see him, you're like, oh, my God, that looks like Eddie Furness. Well, it's probably because it's his son. Yeah.
Well, he's got Furness, and he's the 4th.
And everybody was like, why is he at Ole Miss and LSU? Well, because Bianco. That's why.
Yep.
Because Mike was at LSU coaching when
Furness.
Huh? What?
Mike was at LSU. Did they play together?
No.
No.
Mike was an assistant coach.
Yeah.
Ah, that's what it is.
He coached him.
Let's say
Get my
that.
national championships confused.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Played
do
with, Bianco played with McDonald.
Oh yeah, he's his battery mate.
Ben McDonald was the catcher. I mean, pitcher, and Mike
86.
was the catcher. Well, 89.
There we go.
I will say this though. It's gonna be interesting to see. Don't sleep. I'm calling it right now. Don't sleep on Bear leaving the yard a couple times. Got some lefties in there. Leave some balls hanging out over the middle. Get it up in the air a little bit. Don't sleep on him.
Pick to click.
Don't sleep on it. I think you might see a big weekend out of him again.
All right, are we at that moment, or are we gonna start making predictions? I can't talk.
Uh-oh. The allergies.
Are we at that moment when we're starting to make projections of the weekend?
Predictions?
Or project?
You're projecting right now.
I know.
You're projecting that using the word projections is right over predictions.
Our predictions. We're projecting of the predictions.
We're
projecting our predictions.
Yeah, we're predicting. Predictions.
Are we at the point now where we're predicting what's going to happen over the weekend? There we go.
One would project that's possible. That's what we're doing.
Here's another thing. Before we start doing that, here's another thing that I found interesting. Ole Miss scores half their runs the first 2 innings of the game. So they start off hot. They come out there and they score a ton of runs, and they kind of level off throughout the course of the game. So obviously, take notice of that. You have Paul Skeens on the mound today. Hopefully he keeps them at bay in the first few innings, and then kind of he gets into a rhythm and he starts to cruise. What?
And but from what you're saying, that goes to Jared's point. If Skeens has a clean sheet for the first 3, they might punt.
Yeah.
If they're not able to tag you early, because if that's what they've been doing all year, like offensively, and then they're not able to put any runs up, LSU puts up a 2 or 3 spot, and you're in the 4th. Like, all right, well, that was our chance. We usually don't hop on anybody late. Grab the mop-up guy. And it also, if you're thinking sweep, that should worry you for game 3.
I was about to say for all the other games, because if they get off to an early start. Now, LSU needs, obviously, you're going to have to score anyway, but you get off to an early start that you get your starter out early, then the bullpen has to get in a lot earlier than they want them to. Like, that's... The first
how
three
early
innings are
can
going to
you
be
get
the first 3 innings of every game are going to be huge.
But that's still the same thing. That it's like, how early can you get them out? Because let's just say, even if LSU goes out there and hammers the starter, okay, and if Paul's throwing well, then
I'm talking about the next 2 games, not Paul.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Paul.
Yeah.
I have no doubt Paul's going 6 or 7 today.
No.
You know what I mean? But it was the other one. So like, if you want like that, to me, that's going to be the indication on the weekend. Okay, are the starters on Saturday and Sunday able to get through those first 3 innings relatively clean? I would like to be clean, but relatively clean. Whether give up 1 or 2 runs and then start to settle in. Like, once you get after that third inning, I was like, okay, we're settled in. Now, if they don't get through that 3rd inning without giving up 4 or 5 runs, and the bullpen's got to come in, then the bullpen's gonna have to be extended for those 2 games. That was more of the point. I have no doubt Paul's gonna do what he does.
Even if he gives up too early, I don't think
I'm no worried about that.
That ball is glued to his hand.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have to
But for the other 2,
walk the house and do a whole bunch of things that are very uncharacteristic of him.
But the other, even with Ty Floyd or Cam or Thatcher, which I don't think you probably won't see, but that's been his that's been the bugaboo, is the early innings, like walk, put people on for free early in the game, and they never get to get settled in. And Jay's been having a quick hook because it's almost like I can't look at this anymore. If you're going to put people on for free and you're 1 pitch away from, honestly, I don't want to say giving the game away, but honestly giving the game away, because now he'll go to the bullpen in the 1st. He's done it before. And so if Ole Miss, that's probably what their key to victory is like, if it's not going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, let's hop on these sumbitches and see if we can put a 4 number up and make them go to the bullpen, especially on Saturday, and see if we can eat them up, and then it's fair game Sunday.
Saturday 100%. I think you're going to see
Saturday's
all of
the game
the
they're
pressure.
Going to go all in to try to win that game.
Yeah, they're throwing their stud.
Yeah, they're going to go all in to win game 2.
Yeah.
I believe that.
I believe you'll see them do that. I believe you'll see them run a little bit. I believe you'll see them do anything they can to scratch runs across on Saturday to get that win, because I think they have a fight. I think they think in their mind we have a real fighting chance on Sunday with whoever they end up throwing on the mound.
How far is Oxford from here?
5.5, 6.
So from New Orleans, 4.5.
I think so.
What's
Why,
cooking?
you going?
What's
You
cooking?
bringing Kobe with you?
I'm in New Orleans on Saturday.
You going on Sunday?
I'm thinking, man, why? I mean, Morgan Wallen's playing on Oxford Saturday night. Why don't I just drive up there and
Riley Cooper,
hang out?
Go ahead.
I'm not going to. I got friends up there.
I thought you were going to go check out a couple books.
he'd He doesn't rent, coach. He bought a book.
I've retired from the library. I don't go.
Yeah,
out
he
on
buys
stuff
it. Yeah, he
I
bought.
don't read anymore.
He's like, it's like when you go stay at a hotel, the Bible is always there. He doesn't have to buy. He doesn't have to go rent the Bible, and just everywhere he goes, he's got it with him. I don't know why they do that. I feel like that would be protested by now.
I don't know, dude. That's a conversation for not the show.
I mean, I'm just wondering, like, who started that tradition? You could put anything in there. Why like a tour of the city?
They have that too.
But
They usually have like a.
Lloyd, this is a sports show, Lloyd.
how agnostic that hotels were. They must have made a hell of a deal with the church. Like, hey, if you build on the property here, we'll give you a Bible, and they probably get it in perpetuity.
You think that's what they did?
I don't know. I think it's a place to hide your drugs.
The Bible?
Yeah, that's what we did. You carve it out.
What do you think this is?
Jesus
Ozark?
Christ. He's in the cartel now.
What do you think this is? Ozark? Good Lord.
It's a great idea. So you bring your own Bible, you cut all the pages
I don't think.
out.
I don't
in a
think
square,
that's okay.
And then you move that Bible, put that Bible there. They never touch it.
You've been watching too many movies.
Yeah, you gotta leave the TV
I
alone,
love
man.
my raps.
Whatever you say.
Realize he's saying all this on the day where he doesn't have the camera on him right now.
Right.
He just literally
No doubt.
shooting off at the mouth right now.
Let's
He don't
make our
care.
I feel
projections.
like I'm on Vice.
He don't give a shit right now.
Let's make our projections. Predictions for the weekend. Game 1. Paul Skeens on the bump. Give me his
7 1/3.
Whoa.
6 hits. 12 punches.
You're going the whole thing. You're going hits and everything.
6 hits, 12 punches.
Wow, we need to mark this down. 7 1/3, 6 hits, 12 strikeouts.
3 earned runs.
3 earned. Okay.
1 walk.
Oh, you went the whole line.
Yeah, I went line.
Wow.
Line City right there, baby.
Yeah, I mean,
7 1/3. I like that.
It's almost unfair to just do strikeouts to see where you're coming from because it's been 11 or 12 nearly every game.
All right, I got.
He's
I got
every
one.
game where he's not been interrupted by inclement weather. It's been 10 plus.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So don't just give me the punches. Give me a
All
line.
right, I'm gonna give you the line. You go next.
I mean, I agree with the 12 punchies. I say he goes 6, but also I'm going to say 2 earned. He gives up 1.
I said what, 3 earned?
Yeah, I think he gives up. I don't know if he walks somebody or somebody gets a cheapie, but I think he gives up 1 yabo because of the place. And
1 what?
Home run.
Okay.
Yabo.
But that's new.
That's what you call it.
That's very new, cuz. I've been around baseball a long time. That's a new one. Never heard that
A
one.
Yabo.
A yabo. First of all, because of what he said, right? Ole Miss fans saw that clip. It's a late game, 8:30 at Ole Miss.
Oh, boy.
Don't think they ain't gonna be.
They might not have beer left to fly.
Okay,
That-
So for all of those reasons, this is why I think my line is gonna be the line.
Okay.
Well, give me. Wait. He got to give me the rest of the line. Yeah.
Hey, what was
I
it?
know. I was gonna say you go to 6, 2 earned.
12 punchies.
12, I would say like 11, 12 punchies.
Well, you can't pick both. One of the two.
11 and a half. No, I'm
Can't do
gonna
that.
say you go.
11,
I mean,
12.
you gotta
Which
stick,
one?
You gotta stick to the
10,
you gotta-
11, 12, or 13.
Who was that?
One of
Hunter
those.
Fournette that said that. He goes 10 plus.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we know. I'll say 12 with you because that seems to be like in vogue for him. But I think he has an extended first and second inning where the pitch count will be up like we saw. What series was that where he started? LSU came back. Was it Arkansas? Where he kind of got in a little bit of trouble and got himself out of it. We watched it here. But one of those type of games where it's a little bit of a rocky start, and then Skeens shows how he comes back and dominates, gets through the rough part of putting people on, continues to, and then it's smooth sailing from there. So you might see LSU down early, which is what plays right into what they want. But I still think LSU wins.
And let me just say this too, and it's not because you don't have the ability there either, but I do think pitch count willing, they are going to extend them as long as possible because of just how inconsistent Saturday and Sunday has been the last couple weeks. So you want to be able to save whatever arms you have,
Right?
Especially if you're in the situation to do it for those days.
All right. For all of the reasons you said that Ole Miss was going to be fired up, I think it's the opposite.
Skeens.
I'm going 8 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts, 1 earned. He hadn't had a game like that yet.
So you're saying the game starts at 8:30, it'll be over at 10.
8:30, 10:30. 8 innings pitched, 15 punchies, 1 earned. He's gonna have the best game of this
LSU
year
tenure.
right now because of The last two times he's pitched have been not bad for him, but he probably wasn't as good. Not as good as he wanted it to be. The comments he had about Ole Miss and the stadium and how he doesn't think there's gonna be a lot of beer showers, the late game, the energy that's probably gonna be in the stadium. I think all that he's probably gonna sit 100 miles an hour for 2 innings in a row. He may go 100 to 102 for the first 2 innings. I believe that 8 innings, 15 punchies, 1 earned. With the W.
Any walks?
1 walk.
But say, don't you dare hit me with the no walks.
I was thinking 2. 1 walk.
1 walk.
1 walk. Okay. That's my prediction. All right, LSU obviously wins the game.
Hey, all right. Here's a real question though. If it goes that way, who's the first arm that comes out of the pen?
I think it all depends on where they're at in the lineup. And
Good, like a good outing. Who do you think you'll see first out of the pen?
How much is LSU up?
If they do that, they're up 6.
Let's say it's a good game, not a
They're
blowout.
4 run, 3 runs.
Good game, 3 runs, not a blowout. Good game.
Gavin Guidry's in. Unless there's like a stretch in the lineup where there's lefties, a lot of lefties, and I think they put Griffin here again.
I think Griffin is going to be the first one.
I think those are one of those
They
two
want to save
guys.
one of those.
It's
two
not.
for
Yeah, I mean,
Friday.
you're gonna get.
For
It's
Saturday
gonna
or
be
Sunday.
probably matchup centric.
If he goes 8, you only need 1 more inning. So depending on who's the matchup, it's one of those 2 guys.
Here's why I'm saying it too. I think it'll be Griffin, is because obviously Paul's already right-handed. Even if he's struggling, besides like giving up a clean inning, like I gotta believe that you're gonna give him that opportunity to face whatever that last right-handed hitter. And then if we get a lefty in there, all right, now we'll get him out. So I think Griffin will be the first one in there if it comes to that.
What if he goes CG?
He may.
I mean, he's done it before, but it's been 7-inning games.
Yeah.
I think you'll see a strong performance out of him tonight. Like,
Here's
legit
another
strong.
thing for the weekend to keep an eye on. I think Bryce Collins has a game where he goes 3 innings of shutout baseball.
It's a great pick.
One of the first Saturday or Sunday, I think he's going to go 3 innings and he's going to throw really well.
Pitched well. Under the radar, too.
Yep. All right.
What if you saw one of them busters? Next door. Keep going.
All right. So we did that. Pick to click.
I gave
On
you
the
mine.
weekend.
I gave you mine already.
That's a great pick. I'll do mine. I almost put myself on. Jordan Thompson. Shortstop, mano-a-mano battle for this Bo Wallace Award. I think he kind of takes that as a personal, like, me versus you type deal. Anytime you can have a grudge, anything to kind of get you fired up, motivated more than just winning, when it's they think this guy's better than me.
See, I get what you're saying. And I like the pick because he's been playing well. He's been hot. I don't know how much he's thinking of it.
He knows.
Along those lines.
What would you do? You would notice it and be like, look at this fucking bum.
Yeah, but I'd also be thinking like, I'm not playing against him. Like I'm not. It's not.
No,
me
just
or him.
mentally you are.
For me, it's like I'm just gonna show you how good I am. I'm not gonna but it's not because of that person.
I'm just saying-
I get what you're saying though.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
So,
Okay.
JT and it.
And before I'll go a little bit more in depth too. I got Bear on the weekend because I think it's like you can still look at the strikeout numbers and be like, oh, we can get him out this way, but I think the other numbers are so strong right now for who he is that you're going to see them try to be a little too fine, a little too perfect.
He's made the adjustments at the plate. Like you can tell he's not swinging at pitches that he should be. That he used to swing at.
I think they'll try to be a little too fine, a little too perfect, leave a couple balls over the middle.
And if you do that,
They won't come back.
You got Barrett Jones. You got Thompson.
You got that guy?
I'm not picking Dylan Cruz this weekend. But if I were you, Lloyd, I'd have him ready. I'm not picking him, even though I do think he's going to hit some homers,
it's impossible
you need
to pick him.
You need to be ready for the boost crew
Oh,
this weekend.
shit, yeah.
But I'm not. He's not my pick to kick.
It's been so long.
Why?
My pick to
You need to
click.
be ready for one today anyway.
My pick to click.
It is
Been a
Friday.
while.
It is Friday. We
I've
haven't
been
done it in a
abstaining. I stopped drinking.
Well, you need
while. We
to
probably
get back
should go
on
put
it.
one of those in the refrigerator, in the freezer. Huh?
There's one in there,
In the freezer?
in the fridge.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a
My pick to click is going to.
You
be
should do it because you dragging ass today.
Gavin Dugas. Gavin Dugas. He's gonna come back in the lineup this weekend. He's gonna be my pick to click. What do you think about that?
You calling your shot? You think he plays?
I think he plays.
Because we're in the dark here.
We are. I think he plays though. I think it's been a week. I think he plays.
What shoulder was it?
I think it was the glove shoulder, like the
left. front swing shoulder.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's what I was going to ask you. How much that would impact the swing.
He's a two-hand finish guy. Sometimes. I think he's fine. I think it's his left shoulder. I'm not 100%.
That's the only thing I'd worry about. He plays second, so even if it was his right shoulder, I'm not concerned about the throw from second from him. I'm just worried about more of what he does offensively with the bat.
I think he's
if
good.
He plays and has not.
I don't know, but I'm saying if he does play.
If he doesn't play, who's it? You go to Polt. That's second. No, at second.
I thought you were like picked a click. I was like, no.
I hate those. Because I love them so much.
Second, I guess it'd be.
I'll go camera today. There's no point in doing it.
We're gonna put you on this one.
I just put my Zen in. I was chilling. Speaking of chilling.
So I said, Gavin, do you guys want to pick the click?
Like it.
If he plays, if he doesn't play,
the poll.
I think he's going to play. But if he doesn't play, my backup pick to click.
Don't go with one of the usuals.
I'm not.
But I want to.
I mean, honestly, it's hard because I don't want to pick Trey Morgan going lefty off a home, but I think he hit a homer midweek. Let's go Trey Morgan.
Again, he picked him last week.
I know, but he hit the homer on Tuesday. I think he's gonna, he'll go lefty homer. Some point this week.
When are we gonna pick Milazzo?
That's my backup. Huh?
When's somebody gonna pick Milazzo?
Well, he hasn't done it his whole career. I don't think he's hit one homer his whole career. Maybe he has one.
You don't have to have a homer to click.
Does he have one in his career?
I hope so.
Let's look.
Over under. I'll look it up.
All right. Over under is half.
I'm gonna say 2.
You think he has 2 homers?
I'm gonna say over under.
I think he may have one actually.
You count high school?
No, at LSU.
Stats. One dinger.
First 2 years ago?
19-20 season. Wow. He hadn't batted a lot. I mean, but now he's hot at the plate. You know what he's batting this year?
300.
341.
Yeah, how many bats?
Slugging 364.
That's not much slugging.
44 bats.
That's not much slugging.
All right.
Oh, let's do one more over under.
Okay.
Dylan Cruz walks. Oh, that's me. It's supposed to be.
I like
but
that.
Instead, you get the standings.
You did that. That was nice.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Okay, actually, I'm glad we're gonna come back after you do the shot. I mean, after you do the chug, we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about the matchups and kind of like lay out the last 15 games of the SEC and see like, okay, where do we see the wins and losses? This is a Paul Maneri move. Okay, Paul. Whenever coach would pull the whiteboard out in the players' meeting room, you knew that he was about to put down the standings and he was about to lay out who's
where you need to get these dubs.
It's usually if like you're struggling, like, all right, let me show y'all that's not all hope is not lost, So we're gonna talk about this. Hold on, we're not there yet.
I think we pour in the small spot.
Can you wait until I get to this? Like, let me lead into this real quick. Okay, thank you. After we come back from the break, we're going to talk about the SEC. We're going to talk about where the wins, where the losses are, not just for LSU, but for the other teams, and how we think LSU can maybe make their way back up to the top of the SEC. But before that, and before we go on our break, and before Lloyd does his Friday chug that we've given him 2 weeks off of, we're going to give a shout out to our friends at Heineken. Heineken is a proud sponsor of Mik'd. They've been with us from the start of the show, which has been a little over a year ago, so we appreciate their partnership. They are pubbing, and they gave us a new line of beer for them. It is their Heineken Silver. It's very nicely, I don't want to call it bottled, but it's canned. Nicely canned. Has the star, has the logo. It is their, you want to get it real tight? Real tight.
Get in there nice and tight, like.
It is their light beer. It is their equivalent to like a Michelob. It is 95 calories, 4% alcohol, very crisp, very clean, very easy to drink, and it tastes really good when you're tailgating for a baseball game.
Sugar free.
Well, carb free.
But not taste free.
Not taste free. It tastes really good. Lloyd knows it. I appreciate
My support.
Well, I appreciate your support. I appreciate Heineken's support. And with that said, it is now time for the Friday. I think that's probably why Dylan Cruz hadn't hit any homers. Really, Lloyd hasn't been hitting the.
Lloyd's been trying to keep it quiet too.
I know.
Are you about to pour it in there?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get him right.
Pour it in.
You're not sitting there. We gotta get you.
No, I know.
We gotta get you.
Whoa! Now you gotta tap the top so it doesn't foam.
Get you on the knee, one knee. Here we go. Hum down.
That's what you have to.
Hum now.
I'm not doing that for a minute.
What do you mean?
That's how you propose, right?
No, that's how you drink this fucking beer.
Does it go up or down? Which one was it?
What?
Well, remember we were
This has
doing
gotta go higher.
This one's higher than this one?
Yeah. Right.
Because if you go lower, it's gonna come.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, that's higher.
And then it levels out. And then I raise it up. I need to be watching my guys' videos.
Can you stop jiggling?
Lloyd's got the shakes. He's nervous.
I am nervous.
All right,
Done
hold
it in
on.
a minute.
Ready?
Your world,
3,
baby.
2, 1, go.
Look at that face he's making.
Jesus.
Come now.
There you go. That was pretty nice and clean. You only spilled. Whoa! You're about to spill all over the carpet.
Let's finish that now.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, let's finish it. There you go.
I'm not tall enough.
Finish that thing.
There you go. Proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Guts back.
It's a nice little rally beer for
your highlight
for the
beers
boys.
right there.
It was. I feel like
Nice and
once
easy.
I learned the trick. I really did have to look it up on YouTube.
There you go. It's fine. It's
Because
fine.
I was like, I feel like there's some physics to this I'm not getting right.
With that, now,
Yeah, it's
now
called
because
actually-
of
Might
that,
be the call for DC. You
Yep,
might
that's
be
it.
right. If that's the case, I'll do them every Friday.
Well, that's
Well,
what was
that
the
was
case, and
supposed to
you still tried to run away from
Yeah.
it. So
it's fine. It's okay. We'll see what happens. All right, we're gonna take a minute break. We'll be right back. Thank you for watching Mik'd Up. We'll be back in 1 minute. FGO Development's a civil construction. You go ahead and read it. What?
I'm putting together the
Okay.
image.
FGO Development is a civil construction company that specializes in new multi-family construction. They specialize in site drainage, site utilities, earthworks, site clearing, house pads, ponds, demo work, hurricane cleanup. So basically anything that is moving dirt, getting a site ready to be built on vertically, has nothing to do with mathematics. Like Lloyd tried to say on Monday, he said he wasn't very sure. He didn't know what was happening with. He's not good at math, but
I'm not good at math.
yeah. But math doesn't. You don't need math. I'm sure maybe there's some sort of thing, but
Well, if Tyler works there,
You're not doing any equations or anything like that.
quadratic formula.
Yeah, you're not doing the Pythagorean theorem or
Oh,
anything
nice.
like that. And if you're interested, right? These guys are based out of Lafayette. They do a lot of work. They are experienced in the industry. They've been doing it for their entire lives. And if you're interested and need any help or you want somebody to do a project for you, call Tyler Leday at 3. Dozy Place is located on 3723 Government Street. Everybody knows about their world famous steaks and their hot tamales, but what you may not know is that they're open for lunch every day from 11 to 2. Great people, great environment. Their lunch menu is fire. What's the best thing on the menu?
If you haven't tried it yet, you need to try the burger. Unbelievable, best burger in town.
Best burger in town. If you're looking for lunch, 11 to 2 at Dozy Place. Again, they're located on 3723 Government Street. Give them a shot. One 8-229-5585. Back. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Appreciate you sticking with us through those commercials. Again, one of those commercials, FGO Development. They are our friends. Call. Shit. We forgot to change the number on here again, too.
Oh, I haven't checked. LSU minus
Yeah, that's not what we're talking about.
minus 240.
Don't get distracted. Don't ADD me.
Just saw it. Hold on. Here we go. New number for Evco Development is 337 534 4675.
We're gonna
So
have to
that's
cut that.
Evco Development, yes. 337 534 4675. They've grown so much to the point that Tyler could no longer handle
All the calls.
the cellular data that was coming through his cell phone. He was having to write it off, and so he convinced Evco to get a landline, and now they have a phone in the office. There's a receptionist also that picks it up from the office. They had to hire a new person, and so she's there just answering phones all day. It's all she
Okay.
does. Sharpens pencils.
That's how busy they are.
Makes coffee, and it could be a man. I'm not sure. He didn't tell me, but that's how. Look, that's Evco probably calling right now. They probably had to
Hey,
reroute it.
stop saying it so many times because we're getting too many calls.
That's right. But now they have a dedicated phone number to it, so it's not a big deal. I also skated on paying for these tires from Lexus, and they're calling me right now. So I have to go make this phone call and give them. I'm not giving them the runaround. This is Cliff. Look,
Can you not tell him I'm gonna call you back in 20 minutes?
this is the third time they've called today. All on the show. He knows I'm working right now. Literally saw me. He's like, "I love you on the show." Thanks.
Well, can you just text him and say, "Can I call you back in 20 minutes?"
That's what I'm about to do.
Okay. Thank you.
But that's about Evco, not about me.
So you're
All right,
telling me
pull up the standings.
So you're telling me you ain't got new tires and bounced? Jesus,
You're fucking.
Lloyd.
You're one of a kind.
You're a degenerate.
That's not what happened.
You are one of a kind.
I could have bounced because they were so new.
Oh my
Like, I was
God!
driving like a plane.
How did you even get the keys back?
She left them out.
You are one of a kind, dude.
I didn't think it would come back.
Oh
quickly.
man, I was like, wait, am I hearing this correctly?
Turns out they had my information.
Give me the standings, man. You're unbelievable.
All right, put the standings up. All right, so you got Arkansas's ahead of the West, right? 11-4. They played Georgia.
They
this-
lost last night, right? Or did they come back and beat Georgia?
They came back and beat Georgia.
last
So
night.
they came back.
Georgia won.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
So I was gonna say Arkansas.
So they've
is gonna
taken a
go-
loss already.
So they're 11-5. Arkansas, I think, is gonna go 2-3 in the weekend. They're gonna win the series, right? But they're gonna lose to have a game, so they'll be 13-5 into the weekend. Florida is at South Carolina. I think
Where Florida took the loss the first game already.
Florida already took the loss, right?
Yeah.
That happened last night as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. That was the two games that went
What
on last
is going
night.
on with my phone? Why?
So you got South Carolina sitting at 11-4 right now, and Florida at 11-5.
Right. Okay.
I got
So-
South Carolina winning that series too.
All right, so then you have South Carolina at 12-5. So Arkansas will be 12-5, South Carolina will be 12-5, Florida will be
12-5, 12-6.
nope, 11-6.
No, if they win one,
Oh yeah, 12-6, 12-5.
12-6, 12-6.
No, that's not right. 12-6.
That's 12-6. That's not.
South Carolina will be 13-5. No, go because they missed the game.
They'll be
That's
12.
fine.
They'll be 12-5. They'll be 12-6. So
Arkansas
it'll be a
will be-
half game up
Yeah.
on them at least.
Arkansas is 11-4. I think Arkansas is going to go 13-5.
Yeah.
So they'll be 13-5. Florida will be. They have another loss.
12
They're 11,
they'd
so
be-
they'll be
They'll be
12-5.
12-6.
12-6.
Yeah.
Fuck. 12-6. South
Um,
Carolina will be.
This may be somewhat of the fan in me, but I also really do think that this is one that would happen. Like I feel like this is one we need happen, but it's the one I call as my pick of the week. I think Tennessee takes 2 out of 3 from Vanderbilt this weekend, which would put Vandy at 14-4, and would put Tennessee at 7-11. That would be
that's
a
the big
series.
one, right? That's the big one. A&M's at Kentucky. I think A&M wins that series.
I do too.
I
I
think
think
they
they.
take
I think
two
they
out
take.
of
I think they make it to 4 straight. I think Kentucky kind of starts to hit a little bit of a slide right here.
Mississippi State plays at Auburn. I think Mississippi State wins that series.
Yeah,
Right. I think Alabama takes the series at Missouri,
I do too.
and I think LSU takes the series at Ole Miss. I hope they sweep, but I think they take the series at Ole Miss. So That would then leave LSU, if they take the series, LSU would be 11-6 in conference. Yes.
Yeah.
11-6 in conference play. Right? Arkansas will be, they've already lost one.
It'll be
So
13-5.
13-5.
Yeah.
So LSU will still be one loss behind them.
It'll still be a game and a half behind them, right?
Game and a half.
Yeah.
But they have the tiebreaker over Arkansas.
Right.
So
I'm not worried about Arkansas as long as they do. As long as LSU does what they need to do, Arkansas you don't need to worry about because they've already beat them head to head.
Right. But this is where the East, SEC East, starts to play each other, and they start to beat up on each other a little bit. So.
Yeah, the Arkansas. So everybody on our side of it, for the most part, I'm not worried about honestly in the West because you've already beat Arkansas, you've already beat A&M, so it doesn't really matter what the rest of them do if you're taking care of business. None of those are going to surpass you. The ones that I'm worried about is the ones that they don't play that are already playing well, right? So you got the Vanderbilts and the Floridas. They don't play them. They're not going to get a chance to beat them in the series. There's no head-to-head there. So those are the teams you need to kind of see come back down to the middle a little bit from where they are right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think this is a big weekend for Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to win the series this weekend to keep themselves alive for making their late season run.
If we're literally looking at this thing, and this is another reason why I don't really love the conversation that everyone's having about they haven't swept anyone yet, right? So we all know what Tennessee's been the past 2 years, 50-plus wins on both of the years, right? They came in as a top 5 team. They're the only team that's anywhere below halfway in the SEC right now, right? Everybody else is upper half of the SEC. Everybody else is literally, if the season ended, can you put it back up real quick again, Lauren? I think everyone else, if the season ended today, would be they beat Arkansas, they beat A&M, they beat Kentucky and South Carolina, right? A&M and Tennessee are the only two that would be ranked below them if the season ended today and they went into the SEC tournament. Everyone else that they've beat has been on top of them. So when we sit here and we say, they're not sweeping anyone, Tennessee was a top 5 team to start the year. A&M was a top 5 team to start the year, and teams that you actually believe would stay there too. Like Alabama was a top 25 team to start the year. I never believed in Alabama.
Right.
I knew somewhere along that schedule, and especially once they got in the conference, you would see that all right, they may have some talent there, but they're not a good team, right? And I think that's so. What you're seeing so far is, to me, I'm like, well, you got to realize who they've played and what they've done, and who they've played it against so far. And I'm very okay with what they've done so far.
I agree, 100%. How'd the tire conversation go? You went to his voicemail?
Straight to voicemail. No,
Did you leave him?
I didn't call him.
What'd you do?
I had to pee.
This guy.
You want me to call him? I mean, I'll call him there.
No, I don't.
I thought that's why you walked out, not to
I did go get my wallet.
to relieve yourself.
I did get my wallet because I'm a man of my word. Cliff obviously has my phone number. Go see Price LeBlanc. If you want to get away with some free time. I said if you want to steal some tires.
Easy with the free ads. All right.
I'm trying to squeeze 25% off.
No, I'd like to if they want to pay.
That's
us.
what your phone's for. What do you mean?
Yeah. All right.
Just change my phone
before
number.
Before we get to the segments on the show, predictions on the weekend as far as the series.
LSU series. Win, loss, win. Series win.
Win, loss, win. Series win.
That's what I was gonna say. I didn't know Ty Floyd's ERA was that high.
I mean, that's recent.
Yeah.
It's
the past two outings got him.
Well, so it kind of makes me nervous. Is the past two, as good as your last one, right? So, especially with them throwing their ace on Saturday, obviously we saw the shift coming of them not going ace v ace with Skeen. So I'd have to agree. Worst case scenario is 1 and 2, but I think it's going to be win, loss, win. But what? Do you think that LSU does the same thing that Ole Miss does on Friday if it goes south early Saturday, where they just go
LSU punt?
Yeah,
I don't think they go punt unless it's big, down huge. I don't. I get the feeling right now that they are more in the camp of, look, as long as we are winning series, that's what matters most, and every game is where it is, and I think we have a puncher's chance in every single game that we're in. So I don't think they do
unless they're down 7, 6, 7, 8 runs late in the game. They think that they can. There's no deficit they can't overcome.
Yeah, Even if
who were they playing whenever they're beating the was it Kentucky? No,
the Tennessee game when they went down 10-0.
Yeah, when they went to the Tennessee game, they started making. I mean, they had a shot. If there was a couple things that would have not happened if you don't run out that inning and you score another run there, I think they come back and win that game. To be honest with you, but you have to be perfect. So that my point is they can still make those big comebacks. Yeah. So I don't think they ever punt.
With their ability to hang crooked numbers, I don't think they punt much at all. Honestly, and the depth of the team, I don't think they're in the mindset of punting.
Agree. All right, so y'all win the series. I'm gonna go.
Do it.
Sweep.
Let's say do it.
I'm not gonna say we're gonna lose a series. I'm not gonna say that we're gonna lose on Sunday. I'm gonna go sweep. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say this is the first sweep of the year for LSU. Paul Skeens is gonna go 8 innings. He's gonna do what I said he's gonna do. He's gonna dominate. You're not gonna really need to use barely any of the bullpen on Friday night. Saturday, you're gonna go there and you're gonna get Ty Floyd's gonna give you 5 2/3. He's gonna throw well. He may give up 3 runs, but he's gonna throw well. Offense is gonna do what they gotta do. And on Sunday, they're just going to outswing it. I'll hit them.
I was about to say, what's the recipe for a sweep? Is it because you can't? There's been no evidence to where you can rely on pitching on Sunday. So you just think that they hang a crooked number and get up, and it's hopefully because if LSU does lose, I mean, in your scenario where LSU wins Friday, Saturday, you ain't got to worry about that Ole Miss crowd showing up on Sunday. It's not.
I think the recipe. I'm about to say, I think the recipe for a sweep this weekend is a absolute offensive onslaught. That place is too rowdy. The crowd gets into it too much. If you keep them around the game, I think you actually have to come out and hammer them early and often and kind of take out the elements around this thing to get them out. And also, once again, we talked about it. Look at where they are in conference right now. If you come out and you hammer them early and often 2 games in a row, I feel like you kind of beat them into submission a little bit, you know.
I think a pitcher that somebody a pitcher on LSU's team that people aren't really expecting or blot out of. I don't know who it's going to be. Is going to have a big surprise performance this weekend. It's right. Oh wow.
So you're saying Sam Dutton's going to have a great weekend,
or Little's going to go 6 innings, or somebody's going to do something that hasn't really done it in a long time, I'm like, okay. Just makes it, it's crazy what happens whenever our pitching staff does that, right? So, I'm going sweep. That's my predictions, and I'm sticking to them. That's my projections.
Yeah, don't think Wes
Johnson.
Johnson.
Those are my projections.
Yeah, your predictions.
Projections are what are they projected to do?
I'm saying it's projections if you put them both together. PRE.
Projections. I don't like that one.
Sounds like you're not a project.
Anyways,
that's what happens when you practice too much.
Let's get to the Seggies.
Not my problem.
You need some church in your life, man.
Church. All right.
You need Jesus.
No church in the wild.
You need Jesus.
Mistake of the day is brought to you by Dozy Place.
I have one for me, and I have a real one.
Oh, this could be interesting.
All right, let's go. Let's hear it.
I'm a little afraid because, once again, he's not on camera today, so there's just no telling where he may go.
It is sad what happened. I was in the shower.
Oh.
And
PG.
Do you know?
You dropped the soap.
No, that's what I
no rope. Huh?
I was reaching. I was reaching for the soap, and I was washing my hair at the same time. I was like, all right, I have to shower fast in the morning because 6:30 is a dead hard line that I have to meet. So, soap in the hair. Reach for the soap. I feel something that feels like soap, and it was like the gummy part of the razor that had been ejected. Like on the you can change the heads. And it felt like soap, so I just felt the sides, and I just and I cut the shit out of myself. Like, nipple was bleeding, chest was bleeding, and I was like, this feels terrible. And I looked down, I'm like, oh my God. So
I'm so confused as to how does that happen? First off, did you literally roll out of the bed and 3 steps later you were butt naked in the shower? How were you that unaware of what was going on to where you thought
washing my hair?
You thought the razor was,
but it's just the razor part. It's
Coach,
not like the whole
but
thing.
if I touched the how? Yeah, no.
How big is your strip of the rubber part? I mean, the
It's on both sides.
Okay, but how big is your bar soap?
bro,
Is it normal
I
bar
ain't
soap?
never heard of
Well, I
that in my
think
life.
it
First
is
off, you're still
run
using
away.
bar soap. That's a little weird. Second off,
Well, I was running out of the body wash.
but you still had bar soap on
like a little
I
one.
can't say
yeah.
anything because I have a couple.
Y'all
I have
tripping.
Some, I have
Y'all
some
tripping.
bar soap.
This is,
Yeah,
yeah,
y'all
in
tripping.
That's my
case of
backup.
emergency.
That's my
Nah,
backup.
y'all tripping, bro. I gotta get y'all off
I
the
do
bar
like
soap.
Dove bar soap though.
Oh, see, my Irish Springs, baby.
Nah, man, I'd be dry as shit with that, man. Can't
Yeah.
be using that.
No,
Dove, though,
naturally
Dove's
oily.
good.
See, I got the Dove body wash. So
I had both.
here nor there, I went for bar soap, and it still gives me like
I don't.
I cut the tip of my nipple.
That doesn't
I
even make
do
any
not
sense.
understand how that
It
is
hurt
even
bad.
possible. I don't care how what you.
So here's
felt.
my thing.
By the time you got it in your hand,
No, yeah.
you didn't really think that was a bar
Well,
soap.
no, I'm about to say, well, yeah,
Jesus.
that doesn't make any sense because if you
I
touch
think you're
that
going
part,
through something and you said, "Fuck it, I'm just
yeah,
gonna try to."
I
cut
think you're
myself.
lying to me right now. Like, I don't
I
know.
can show you.
No,
Listen,
don't show
no,
me.
yeah. See, like y'all, this is what happens when you got no camera on him. He gets a little
Yeah,
ridiculous.
don't show me. I don't want. I don't want to
But
see
I'm
that.
saying it's the truth. It only took a couple swipes. I was like, oh, oh.
So when you felt like that long skinny part, that's a handle that you didn't
No, they
realize.
just said it wasn't on the handle.
So you when you put soap in your hand, you usually just do it like this.
I just tried. I went straight across.
Like you don't actually grab the soap. Like you just.
Yeah, well, that was how much was left. It was like a minuscule amount.
So like you were here, and were you like one finger in your way to the?
yeah, I saw it.
There's the soap.
I felt
Let me
it.
grab it like this
It
with two fingers, and then I'm gonna soap myself. Like that just makes no sense.
No
Right?
sense.
Well, I'm not gonna do it again.
And who takes this? When I take the bar soap, at least I put it in my hands for a little bit.
Imagine if I
But you
done
got-
that.
You gotta get it under the water. Like
Yeah,
get some.
before I like to get it suddy.
You just go dry ass soap on the skin.
My body's wet.
Boy, I've never heard that
Lloyd.
before in my life.
I don't think anybody's ever done it.
You've
before.
got some issues, dude.
That doesn't even like You are
How does
making
that
this
even
up.
happen?
I just showed you
It's
where I
not
was
real.
cut.
I think that happened a different way. Mikey didn't get attacked by an alligator either. I think you're lying to me right now.
Why would I make that up? I'm bearing my soul to you.
I think
Like
you lied
I'm
to me,
not
right?
saying I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm saying it happened.
That's
And-
embarrassing.
I still kind of have like a little PTSD because I dropped it immediately, and it's just it's still on the ground of the shower because I don't want to pick it up because
So you didn't bend over and pick it up right there?
Let me see if we had any.
I dropped the soap and tightened up.
All right,
Give me the other mistake.
give me the other one.
But I had to get that off my chest because I've been sitting.
It's
on
still
having-
on your chest, apparently. It ain't off your chest yet.
But my other one is the real mistake of the day. Obviously, Boston Marathon.
Yep.
Runner's diarrhea is a real thing, as
Yep.
we've heard from Bo, our friend who loves to run in marathons. This is something that can happen.
Speaking of Bo's, you know what Bo's target weight right now is
165.
175 to try to qualify for Boston. He's at 195. It's 20 pounds.
That sounds unhealthy. Well, he lost a lot of blood during St. Patrick's Day, so he might be able to. I still have a picture of that on my phone.
Yeah, that's gross. Go ahead.
He partied through it.
He did. Go ahead.
I'm putting
Finish.
the video up.
Oh, okay.
So, because somebody has a Ring camera, and
Oh,
this man it's during the Boston Marathon. He goes to somebody's yard and decides to do his business.
wow.
And
No, who would do that?
Are these cops like getting mad at him?
I'd imagine you can't. I mean, this is a fireable. This is an arrest-worthy offense. Are they gonna go clean it up for him? But yeah, so he does the. Oh, you
It's
know
on the shoe.
how bad in the spot you have to be.
Man, he might get the back of the shoe. That's not good.
No, if it's coming out like that, it's coming out like lava.
Wow. Looks like a nice house.
It's a great yard.
What are you doing back there?
He,
They got no leaves. What was that?
That's a white man
Oh
thing.
man, that is no white.
Lubricant.
I've seen this happen one other time before. I'm not gonna mention
that guy
who.
can have a scratchy ass.
I'm not gonna
That's
mention
what I
who.
think.
Do you keep running? I guess so. If you
Yeah,
make
if
that
you're in the
commitment.
Boston
Hey, listen.
Marathon, dude, you're running.
I've seen this happen one time before on mornings where we were running 110s. I'm not gonna mention who. I'm not gonna mention no names.
No names.
If you happen to ever be listening to him, we may or may not have had someone very close to him on the show before, but I've seen that very situation happen in 110s. It's very tough.
No wipe either.
No wipe. Right back on the line.
That's commitment.
No, that's called I don't want to run 26 more after this if I don't finish.
Imagine not making time.
That's what that's called.
Imagine the GA that had to do
That's
the
tough.
laundry.
I don't fault that guy. I don't fault him.
I don't think you just throw those away. Here we got you a new pair. In there. Get you a new pair.
I mean,
Can't
26
use
miles.
You gotta tell him.
I don't
You
fault
put
the guy. He can't show himself and keep running. Like, I don't fault him.
No.
Well, that happened at the. If you saw our guy hold the Mayo, that happened during the. What is it? The Crescent City Classic. He was running behind somebody and it was all pouring out. And he was like, "This man shit himself during the race."
Man, that is.
So you got one of two options. And
That's
he
a
took
tough
the
situation.
Yeah,
more
I
circuitous route.
can't
Can't
be
be worried
doing that.
about time at that point.
Can't
I'd
be doing
imagine.
that. That's good. Those are good mistakes they did. The second one's good. The first one's just you.
An idiot.
I don't understand you.
Yeah, that's just not real.
That's just a day in the life, man.
Day in the life of Lloyd.
Peek
Courtney.
behind the curtain.
It's not real.
All right, Curtain Call is brought to you by our friends down at Assured Partners. We've been doing a lot of work over there at Assured Partners.
Oh.
Busy week for us.
Oh.
He's been
Good.
frantic.
It's good stuff though.
He's back on the
I
Celsius coach.
have thrown my best bullets at this thing. So see what happens.
Casted that thing in the water, huh?
Coach, my bullets are out. Like my best shot.
Shooting blanks.
No blanks. But
I'm gonna start this thing off, Laura. You can go. I guess you can put the picture up there if you can get the thing. But
the thing and the thing and put the thing in the
yeah,
thing.
get the thing on the thing because of the thing. But Liam Hendricks, closer for the White Sox,
Great dude.
announces he is in remission, cancer free now. Awesome. I mean, obviously, anybody in any situation that can beat any sort of cancer is pretty much an everyday hero, if you ask me. That's some unbelievable stuff. So shout out to him, his family, and his newfound health, I guess you want to call it. It's awesome, though. Good stuff.
Great stuff. Liam Hendricks, awesome dude. Psychopath on the mound, but awesome dude.
He's been a psychopath since he was a starter. Like,
Yeah. I mean, he first pitch of spring training. Like he didn't have his visa right when he came over from Australia.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
didn't mess it up.
Oh, he's Australian.
Yeah. So he couldn't put he couldn't play in like the major league side yet.
Yeah.
So he was pitching on the backfields, no name on his jersey, nothing yet because, just whatever. First pitch of spring training, he spiked a 98.7-mile-an-hour fastball, pass ball, yelled the F-bomb as loud as he could in front of everybody, and he started yelling at himself in his glove. First pitch of the entire spring
That
training.
reminds me of Jake Peavy. He used to do that stuff all the time, dude.
And then
All the time.
he struck out the side, and
It's about right.
yeah. Yeah. All right, what's yours?
I just want to get this up for him.
Okay, thank you. I mean, it's great news. Great news.
Be interesting to see how quickly he's back onto the field because I'm sure he's pretty driven to get back as soon as possible.
Yeah.
My curtain call, courtesy of Assured Partners, Frankie Harris, and
Me?
Mikey, is the path. LSU is repainting the field or has repainted the field for.
It's just for the spring game,
It's
right?
just to qualify. It's
That's not
just for
gonna
the
stay.
spring game. No, that would
I like
be
it for the spring game, but yeah.
That would be a travesty if it was for anything else.
First off, that looks like field turf. That doesn't even look like real grass.
oh, they paint the grass.
Well,
I'm not stupid, Lloyd. I played on it. I
there's a
think
reason
I know
why-
this, Lloyd.
There's a reason why our cleats are green at the end of the
I
game.
think I know that, Lloyd. I'm just saying it
Looks
looks.
great. Even though the end zones look like it's like computer.
Yeah, it looks
font.
like a
And they painted the
old school
goalpost.
video game, doesn't it?
It does look like NCAA. It looks like you got to create your own field, and you're
Yeah.
like,
These are the templates that you can use in the end zone.
Yeah.
But I think it looks cool. It's a good little change up just to kind of maybe get a little juice, do something different.
Is that gonna give you any juice though?
No, I think if you're a player, you'd be like, oh, this is kind of fun, instead of seeing the same old or
Yeah.
nothing. And so I think it's cool. And then they got some, they did something different at the 25-yard line. I forgot what it was, but I think it looks good.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
What do you mean? You did something different? You don't see it
They
says
put,
spring
like,
game 23?
Spring game 23. Yeah, I don't think they never paint the 25-yard line, so I thought it was cool that they did something a little different. Just to bring a little flair to the LSU program.
Alright.
I'm sure the field turf guys were juiced to be like, oh, we really got to work today.
I don't think they look at it that way.
That's not
I
as
think
hard as the Tiger.
No, I'm talking about the end zones.
that's pretty easy.
Because I'd imagine you just do the LSU and then paint it one color. Now they have to measure it off. 15,
No.
15.
That's like an
25.
art. That's art. That's art.
Lloyd's
to them.
acting like they got so mad because they had to do a little more
No.
work.
And like that's art to them. Like they like that. That's good stuff.
Lloyd would be an awful person if you put him outside to have to work every day. He'd be the most grumpy dude you'd ever run to.
I love to sweat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right.
Great.
My curtain call is to
Trying to think of
Mookie
an
Betts.
outside job I've had. I can't put a
Exactly.
finger on one.
There you go.
Ready?
another siren. Hopefully everybody's okay outside on Government Street. My
Government Street curtain call.
Yeah, my current call is to Mookie Betts, and for a couple of reasons. One, Mookie had his second baby. I believe it's a baby boy, but I'm not 100% sure.
What did you see on Twitter?
Well, that wasn't this year. That was, I typed in his name on Twitter, and some crazy stuff came up for some reason. I don't know. But he had his second kid 2 nights ago, or last night, and then he leaves, he was not in the lineup originally, comes to the field. He pinch hits in the 7th inning, and they put him at shortstop to play shortstop. He got drafted as a shortstop in 2011. Plays shortstop.
Pinch hit, get a
turns
hit.
Unassisted.
Get your first ground ball and make a
6-3
6-3 double play with a
That's an
jump throw.
outfielder.
Let's,
Plays
to be clear,
shortstop,
Green
had to
did.
play
Green
shortstop
did.
alone. Candy hop, does it by himself, and ends it. The inning.
If you get bored,
He's unbelievable.
if you get bored, Mookie's probably all of maybe
5'9"?
5'9"-ish, maybe scratching 5'10". Go watch him dunk. Go watch him run routes.
Yeah.
Pretty athletic.
Yeah. Stupid. That's my curtain call. That's him. Shout out to Mookie. Great dude, too. Great dude.
Great dude.
Great golfer also.
Yep.
Great
Great bowler.
Great bowler.
Great bowler.
Yep. Professional bowler. Professional bowler.
Him, Chris Paul, and Norm Duke.
Yeah.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate y'all watching our show this week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We will be back in studio live from 6 to 8 p.m. on Monday. We are going to recap the weekend, hopefully after an LSU sweep. In worst case, hopefully after an LSU series win. We'll be back on Monday. We're also going to preview the NFL draft, which is starting on Thursday.
Draft week next week.
What?
Draft week next week.
Yep, draft week next
A lot
week.
of lives changing next
A
week.
lot of meetings happening over the course of the next 5 days.
You see where Kayshawn was projected?
Where?
5th round of the Commanders.
Really? Interesting.
All right, we'll see.
Interesting.
New ownership.
New ownership. But again, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Peace.
Peace.
Actually,
Namaste.
namaste.
Sayonara.
Like and subscribe to our show, please.
Sayonara. See you suckers tomorrow.
See ya.
Hasta mañana.
Later.
Assalamu alaikum. That means, hey, how you doing? Booze Cruise tonight.